The NBA has a big problem in its All-Star Weekend. This is a weekend where we see multiple events take place over 2 days. The NBA's biggest event of the weekend is the All-Star Game, which has become a big failure this past year. The NBA All-Star Game averaged a combined 2.2 rating and 4.59 million viewers across TNT and TBS, the lowest rated and least watched game of the past 2 decades. The NBA hasn't dipped below 6 million concurrent viewers throughout the past 2 decades, so seeing this game come in at 4.59 million viewers is a worrying sign for the NBA. This year's game was the ultimate fall-off compared to any game of the past 2 decades. Although this game was missing superstars Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who all faced injuries that prevented them from playing or playing extended time in the game. Even with these big-name stars out for the game, we still had the brightest young talents in Ja Morant and Luka Doncic playing in the game. It begs the question as to why people aren't interested in watching the best players in the league play with and against each other. I believe there is a simple answer to this question that the fans and players involved in the game have clearly noticed. The biggest problem with this game is the anti-competitive gameplay on display. Coach of the Denver Nuggets, Michael Malone, had this to say about the 2023 All-Star Game.
Honored to be here. It's an honor to be a part of a great weekend, great players, but that is the worst basketball game ever played.
How do you fix it?
I don't know if you can fix it.
Boston Celtics guard Jaylen Brown also had bad things to say about the All-Star Game, calling it a glorified layup line. Also stating, we gotta figure out how to make the game a little bit more competitive. It's clear that the fans and the players have real problems with how the All-Star Game is being played now. The no defense approach to the game and the extremely low intensity for the full 48 minutes has turned off most people. Fans enjoy watching players give their utmost effort on the court, but that's not what's happening. The fans have made their statement with the viewership numbers, showing the NBA that this product cannot continue the way it's going. Unfortunately for the league, there is zero incentive for the players to give their effort at all. One of the biggest reasons for this is injury concern. Players do not want to injure themselves or anyone else on the floor by trying to make a play in a meaningless game. We can look at the examples of players getting hurt trying to make high-intensity defensive or offensive plays. Dwayne Wade broke Kobe's nose during the All-Star Game trying to block his layup. LeBron James got hurt in the past All-Star Game trying to go for a block. He injured his hand and missed the rest of the second half. Whenever players try to give effort in these games, they run the risk of getting injured and costing their team a chance at pushing for the playoffs or getting a higher seed in the playoffs. The risk does not outweigh the reward for being healthy for your team. It's clear that the NBA has a huge problem with the All-Star Game and their inability to provide a good product. Adam Silver needs to figure out how he can make these players compete for most of the game. It'll be a struggle for the NBA to continue with the All-Star Game the way it is currently, and the question is, how can they fix it? Well, one suggestion is to hire the financial incentives in the game, possibly creating a financial bonus onto players reaching scoring goals. For example, if Steph Curry scores over 20 points in the All-Star Game, he'll receive an extra $50,000 bonus, giving more incentives for individual players to try their hardest to score so that they can reach their financial bonus. This might help bring more energy out of the players, especially on the offensive end. Another potential solution is to increase the pay differential of the winning team and losing team. Currently, the gap is $75,000, as the winning team receives $100K and the losers get $25,000. Increasing this gap to around $200,000 will cause players to try even harder, as that is a sum of money that cannot be brushed over even for these multi-millionaires. A quote from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander basically sums up this mindset of the players in the All-Star Game.
And then Michael Malone, after the game, said it was the worst basketball game he'd ever seen. Like, is there any fixing of the All-Star Game, or do you think it really matters?
Money talks. So, I mean, the more incentives, I think guys will take it seriously, more seriously.
Regardless of whether these solutions will actually work or not, the NBA has a huge problem with their All-Star Weekend, and they need to find a solution quickly, or it will fall into the same category as the Pro Bowl, an event that nobody cares about. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more sports essay content like this. Much appreciated by everyone that watched all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.